Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about the creative process regarding music and why you should make music for yourself and not necessarily for other people. Now what do I mean by that? Because people say that sort of thing a lot. Oh, you should create for yourself and not worry about the audience's interpretation of it or whatever. And you know, it can sort of sound like, oh shut the hell up, yeah, make stuff for yourself, no duh, obviously. Well, when I say make stuff for yourself, what I kind of mean by that is just make music that aligns with your taste. So whatever your taste is, like for instance, if you make sort of hip hop beats, I imagine that you're someone that likes hip hop in general and you like that kind of sound. If someone's out there making rock music, I imagine that they like to listen to rock music in their spare time. If someone makes EDM, then I think they listen to EDM. Like every artist that I've seen that I know that makes music, they make music that kind of aligns with their own taste, and I encourage you to do the same. Don't go for stuff that's necessarily like what you think others might want from you. Make what you want for yourself, and if other people like it, then they're going to join along with you because they see that you are being yourself and doing your own thing, and that shows a level of confidence in yourself and in your own ability that is quite admirable. I think it's admirable to just be yourself in your creative works and just to do what you feel is right regarding your own music. So with my music, I'm quite into my sort of prog rock sort of stuff. I like my psychedelic rock, my acid rock, and you know, I like stuff along those sort of lines. Like some of my favorite bands are like Camel, King Gizzard, and various stuff like that. I like a bit of Tool as well. So I like these kind of progressive rock things with lots of long songs. And when I got into making music, I was a bit worried about making long songs because it felt a bit egotistical to be a nobody putting out 9, 10, 11-minute songs. That am I expecting the audience to listen to 10 minutes of a nobody? Well, no, I'm not expecting them to listen to 10 minutes of a nobody because I am making these songs for myself and for my own listening pleasure, and that to me is what should come first. It's important to make stuff for yourself first and let the audience join in on you. It's the same sort of way that, for instance, if you're trying to find a relationship, you don't want to be someone that you're not. You want to just be yourself, and if they like that, then you can just carry on being yourself. And that's a way better way of existing and having a relationship. And the same sort of way it works with music. If you just are yourself, you'll find an audience that like the same sort of thing as you, and you'll find like-minded people out there because you're nowhere near as unique as you think you are. At the end of the day, you're not a particularly unique individual. So you can use that to your own advantage and make stuff that is tailored to your interests, to suit your audio sort of musical taste. And then from that, you can use the fact that other people will like the same kind of thing as you to your advantage. So the more you make, the more chances you have of someone latching onto one particular song. That's why I believe in quantity over quality. That's why I believe that you should make as much stuff as possible and ask questions after the fact. I feel like it's important to just try and try and try again, and eventually just keep mining away, and eventually you will strike gold. And as you continue your musical journey of learning instruments and learning different styles and learning different things that and you know, you might do some heavier tracks, you might do some softer tracks, you might do some longer tracks, you might do some shorter tracks, you might do some with vocals, you might do some instrumentals, you might do some with a weird crescendo in it, you might do something with a weird little bossa nova section in it. You might just have some fun with it and just do stuff that fits whatever you like. If you're someone that's like, you know, you have a lot of synthesizers, maybe you make synthwave kind of stuff, you know, you explore the sounds that you enjoy and just do what feels natural to you and just make stuff that feels right for you. Because you'll never be able to be someone that you're not. You can never convincingly be a musician that isn't really you. And you can kind of tell that with various artists that you can see maybe they got big in the 80s or the 90s and they're still trying to make that sort of thing now. But you can kind of tell their heart's not quite in it and they really like something else because they're spending a lot of time with their other projects and not so much with their main band and that kind of thing. You can kind of tell if their heart is really in it. And if your heart is in it, then people are going to latch on and you'll be timeless no matter what, compared to if you don't have your heart in it and you're just chasing an individual trend or an individual idea. People will cotton onto that because people are quite smart. Your audience is way smarter than you possibly could give them credit for. Even if you do think they're smart, they're smarter even than that. is my overall point. And so you can just use that to your own advantage by just being yourself, being the true version of you. And don't be afraid to put the true version of yourself out there, because the true version of you is quite nice. They're quite a decent person at the end of the day. And so all you need to do is just keep making as many things as you can, and you'll eventually find something that works. And once you carve out a sound for yourself that feels you, that feels natural to make, and what you'll find is you'll try and do, like, say you try and make a song in a certain style, right? You'll never emulate that style properly. Like, say you want to make a Pink Floyd style track, okay? And you sit down, you're like, okay, so how does Pink Floyd do it? Like the boom, 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 boom. And they do that, and then they might have some like bluesy guitar solos over it, and they might have their large synthesizers and organs and stuff like that going through it. So you use the same elements and the same ingredients that they use for their music, but you'll use them in different ways, and you'll end up creating a different product, even though you're using the same tools and the same ideas. Because you aren't Pink Floyd, you aren't David Gilmour, you aren't Roger Waters, you aren't Nick Mason, you aren't Richard Wright, you're just you. And so if you try and make that, if you're trying to force yourself to put yourself in that little Pink Floyd box, that's not going to work. But if you just take some of their ideas as inspiration to make your own song and allow it to just be what it's going to be, then it will be a lot more interesting. It's like the same way I like to experiment with modes in music. So like, say recently I've been doing F sharp Phrygian. That doesn't necessarily mean that you stay 100% within that, because you can dip out of F sharp Phrygian, keep in the same scale, but losing the Phrygian feel, and that is still just as valid. You know, when you see, like, if you are someone that looks at like music tutorials and stuff, you'll see that, like, well, we don't want to lose this tonality. You can lose that tonality if you want and get a different tonality, because it'll end up being your thing, your product, your idea and your sound, and it'll be unique to you. And that's just going to come from your natural experimentation. What you feel, what draws you, is going to take you down an interesting rabbit hole. And I think that that's part of the beauty of music, is that everyone can have a crack at it, everyone can do their own thing, and everyone has a voice and everyone has something to say. And why not say it? Because you've clearly got something you want to get out there. So why not just stop worrying about it and just start doing it? Because I think why you want to create isn't necessarily for the popularity or the fame or anything like that. You want to create because you have a thing that you want to say. And if other people can latch onto it, then that's nice. That's nice that they do that. And it's great to be creating and constantly trying to improve yourself and constantly trying to top yourself. But at the same time, don't pressure yourself into trying to top the last thing you did. The newest thing you did doesn't necessarily have to be the best thing you've ever done. It can just be another one, and another one, and another one after that. And eventually you'll find something that is the best thing you ever did, and it'll probably be something that you didn't actually put that much thought or effort into. It's like recently I did an album in a day called 12 Hours of Stubbornness, and there's a waltzy track on it. It's the second track on it's called Look All Around. When I was making it, I thought that was going to be a write-off on the album, but no, it's actually been the one I revisited the most, and it's the one that I like the most, because I tried a weird experiment, and the experiment worked. Not every experiment will work, and that's totally fine. But sometimes something will work, and once it does work, why not just try it again? So I might make another waltzy song at some point, or I might make a bossa nova song at some point, or I might, just try weird things, and see where it takes you, because it will take you somewhere interesting. And the creative journey is unique to all of us, and everyone's journey is unique, and everyone's path to, musical aptitude is different. That's essentially the message that I wanted to get across with this video. So I think that's basically it, is make music for yourself. And this isn't just limited to music. Make books for yourself, or whatever it is you want to make it for yourself primarily. And if what you have to say is interesting, other people will follow along, because you do have something to say. You are an interesting person. You've got something to get out there into the world, and you've clearly got a drive. Otherwise you wouldn't be watching a video like this. So why not just start and not worry about what other people have to say, and just do it for yourself? I made a lot of crap, and I liked it. I liked that crap, no one else liked it, but why should I let that get in my way? So I'm going to keep trying new things, and keep experimenting, keep developing, keep growing as a musician. And eventually I managed to make stuff that other people could relate to and could find some sort of solace in, and that's brilliant. You know, and as time goes on, I'll improve, and eventually the stuff I make now, I'll feel the same way about stuff that I make now that I feel about the stuff that I made 4 years ago, which is that it's completely unlistenable garbage. And that's totally fine, because in a few years from now, I'll have new music that I'll think is the best stuff. And then a few years after that, I'll have new music that I think is the best stuff, and it'll make the stuff that I made in the future look like the stuff that I made 4 years ago, which is complete unlistenable garbage. And that's cool. It's good to keep developing, keep growing, and just doing it for yourself. And that's not a selfish thing. It's not selfish to make stuff for yourself, because, you know, if you have the drive, then why not get in that car, put the key in the ignition, and just go? You know, that's essentially what I wanted to say. And yeah, that's basically the entire point of this video. So thank you so much for watching this. If you have any music that you're trying to work on, please put your ideas for it in the comments below. And if you want to join our email band that I've been setting up, please give me an email at officialmorrisonfilms@gmail.com. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day. And I'm just going to wander off and leave you with this shot, because I'll tell you what, I love it. It's the fog. The fog's making it so good, isn't it? Look at that. It looks beautiful in real life. God, it looks pretty decent on the camera as well. Nice. So, yeah, there's one thing here that's about music, and there's one thing here-ish that's about film, and then at the bottom, somewhere around here on the bottom half, that's the subscribe button. So click one of those things. Check out some of the more material that's on the channel, and yeah, have a good rest of the day. Bye bye.